You have a very crazy, inspiring story. I didn't know about it. I've never heard you talk about it personally until you guys were telling me about it. But you were born in Germany, and then you moved to Georgia,
Georgia
and then to
to
Spain.
Spain.
And could you tell us about that? Like, what was your childhood like growing up?
So I was born in Germany. I have my brother and two sisters. So my parents decided to go back to Georgia because we are originally from Georgia. So we lived there for 7 years, but in the first 3 years, my parents again have to leave us in Georgia and go back to Europe because in that moment we didn't have a great situation in Georgia.
Was there a
And
war? Russia was,
the war started once my parent leave us
yeah.
a year after or something like that in 2008. So when you are 8 9 years old and you dealing with that kind of situation, you don't have you heroes with you, which are your parents with that age. It's a little bit difficult, but at this moment I appreciate everything that I lived because it creates the man I am today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So wait, what was that like then? Who were you living with at the time when you were 8?
With my brother and with my sister, and my grandma was taking care of us also, and close family members. But without the parents,
Yeah.
it's not the same. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we had a difficult times, but today I appreciate everything that I lived because I wouldn't be here without that experience.
And then you made it to Spain when you were what,
Then
15?
when we turned to when I was 15 years old, finally me and my brother, we went with my parents to Spain, and since that moment we meet the gym where we training until today, and we meet the mixed martial arts.
I heard there's an interesting story with your mother with that. I heard, were you guys on a bus and she saw someone with cauliflower ear and
Yeah,
then,
because at that time in Spain they didn't have the culture of mixed martial arts at all. No one knew anything about that.
you weren't even training at this point at age 15?
And we were doing the Greco-Roman wrestling, and we wanted to keep with that discipline in Spain also, but they don't have that sport also, so either. So my mom saw in the street a man with a cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
You can identify
Yeah.
very very fast
Yeah.
a wrestler or a
When you see
fighter
that, you know not to
with.
that person.
So my mom started to talk with that man, and she told him like, I have two kids. They want to keep training. I don't know, maybe wrestling. And he said, I don't do wrestling, but I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So take your kids, and I will show you the gym. So when my mom came to home, she started to talk us about the jiu-jitsu, MMA, and all that, and we didn't know anything at all. And I was like, I don't want to do anything with kimono because in wrestling we don't use kimono. And my dad started to talk also with us, and he was like, "This is an amazing sport. You know the Gracies. Look this video, this and that, da da da." And finally, they convince us to go to the gym, and since the day we step in, we didn't came out until now.
That's crazy. So do you give your mom a lot of credit?
A lot of
And who's
credit.
this guy with cauliflower ear? We got to find him and maybe
Of course, he's a
we got to buy him a beer or
very
something.
close friend of mine. Now he's
Still?
still, of course, he's a great
Wow.
person. How can I forget him?
That's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah, he was a man sent by God.